Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this week's options watch list. Before I get into the watch list, if you're not in the room, you can find a link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. With that said, I'm looking at the put to call ratio right now. It is just signing out for some reason. Put to call ratio is at 0.82%, really not that high. Not since we've had the daily expiration days when SPX and SPY started going to daily expiration, but before then 0.82 was considered to be pretty high, so we may end up seeing a pop. I'm thinking we're going to get a pop this week, but we'll have to see what happens. Now, looking at the economic calendar for the week, let's see, there's only 2 more days of February. Monday, let's see, we have durable good orders in the morning, pending home sales at 10 a.m. Then we get Jefferson speaking at 10:30, which is an FOMC member. Tuesday, we have Chicago PMI, consumer confidence in the morning. Don't I see we have a federal speaker, Goolsby. I've never heard of them, but they're speaking in the afternoon. Wednesday morning, got ISM PMI. That's about it on Wednesday morning. Thursday, unemployment claims. Waller speaks, but that's after close. Friday, we get ISM PMI again, with another member speaking at 11 a.m., which is Logan. So what we had a PMI. We get the one on Wednesday is manufacturing, and Fridays is what? I'm looking too far ahead here. Fridays is just services. Okay, that's what I was wondering what the difference was. So that is it for the economic calendar. Get a few things, really nothing that major. Now I get VIX up. VIX is having an inside down day. Popped up, came back down, a green candle, but it's been kind of rejecting this 23 area. So I'm thinking that VIX is probably going to drop down to 20, maybe even down to 18. This week, thinking that the SPY will pop. I mean, obviously VIX can definitely, if it gets over 23, it can pop more, but I'm kind of thinking we're going to have a green week because of one thing I keep looking at is SPY. SPY's weekly. We had 3 weeks in a row that it were green, red, 1, 2, 3, and even though they were like dojis, wasn't much of a red week. We had 3 red weeks right here, and it bounced. I know we had 3, 1, 2, 3. It started to bounce, but didn't. So right there, it didn't work. 3 weeks, it bounced. So yeah, typically when we get 3 red candles, 1, 2, 3. The fourth candle is green. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. 1, 2, 3. I mean, this is a red candle, but it did start going green the week after. So we don't usually have 3 red candles in a row, which we did. We don't usually have 4. So this is one exception right here, this candle. So I'm thinking we bounce this week just because of that. We have not had a crazy 10-point day, a short squeeze day. Whenever we have a real legitimate short squeeze, it is usually a 10-point day easily. So the last one I think was this one right here, which was 402 to 413. So that's 10 points. Was this one 10.88? 3 now, almost, not quite. That was 10 points right there, I think. 379. Yeah. So one there and one there. We haven't really had, this is not 10 points. 484. Oops, wrong one. 407. No, not quite. Close. This was a 10-point drop, I think. Almost, not quite, but yeah, we haven't had a 10-point candle in a while. I think that we'll end up having a short squeeze. I think probably pop to 405, maybe even 407. So I would watch SPY over 397 to 398 to push to 400 to get a gap over 402, not 402, 403 for a push to 405. Get another gap at 408, push to 410, 415. Now we also can drop more. If we do, I'd watch it underneath 394. I think it's underneath 394. We get the 390 level, which is going to be pretty big. 392 has been a pretty big area right here. This is why it bounced on Friday. You see right here, quite a bit of consolidation over here. So it's going to get bought. This is why I think we're going to bounce and continue bouncing at least up to the to 400, maybe 405, because this is where it gets been getting shut down right here around the 402 to 405 area. So now I'm not saying that we're gonna go to 420 plus. I think we're just gonna have a 1 or 2 day bounce, short squeeze bounce, and we could probably end up seeing more lows. So that's what I'm thinking this week. I could be completely wrong. That's why we're gonna take it day by day. I'm watching it for a bounce to 400 to 405, possibly even 410. And then we're probably going to get more things going on with the inflation and other world events that's happening right now that could end up sinking the market down even lower to 380 or even 375. So to me, the bounce I'm only looking for is just a 1 or 2 day bounce. I don't think it's going to be much of anything. So before we go lower, market's not going to go straight down. It's going to have at least a day or two bounce, like right here. It dropped quite a bit, and it had a 2 day bounce and dropped and bounced before it went lower. So I think we're going to bounce and go lower. So NVIDIA is one I'd keep an eye on. I think NVIDIA is going to close this gap right here. I'd watch underneath the 230 area for a gap close down here to 210, but you got areas down here at 225, 220, 215, 210. I think NVIDIA could end up having a nice little a drop right there. So definitely keep an eye on that. And Amazon, the market's strong. I definitely think that we could get a bounce off Amazon. Amazon's in a nice little area. It likes to bounce at this 92 level. Right there it bounced, here it bounced. So I'd watch it over 94 to 96, 98 to 100, 102. Basically every $2, 104, 106, 108, and 110. So I'm not sure how high it will go. Get a lot of resistance right here at the 105 area, 106 area. So definitely keep an eye on Amazon to make a little bit of a rally, short-term rally. Meta, still look for a gap fill on that. So if the market does manage to pop a little bit, I'm sure Meta will go with it a little bit, but I would watch it underneath the 167 area, 168 if you want to round up, for a continuation to fill the gap. So even if we do have a 1 or 2 day market relief bounce, that I think that Meta will still be a good play if the market ends up pulling back more and we could fill this gap. So definitely keep an eye on Meta. Microsoft is the last one. I really like too much this week. Microsoft right here, it's right down to the RCT trend line on the daily. It does like to bounce at this level. It does not like being underneath 250 that long, even though it's been under it, this whole area right here. But at one point in time, we could never get it underneath 250 right here. Remember this area when we were trading this? Every time we got underneath 250, just kept getting bought. Then when it finally went under 250, that ended up being a huge resistance, and it couldn't get over 250. Now we're back in the opposite scenario again, where it gets under 250. If it does manage to bounce, get over 250, it could have a strong move to 255, 260, 265, 270, 275. 275 would be a pretty big area for it to break, but definitely get some gaps to fill right here, the 261 area, and right here. I did fill the gap a little bit, but definitely got a gap fill right here. So definitely keep an eye on Microsoft. So we're going to keep it simple this week. We got a full day, full week of trading this week, and we're just, like I said, been saying for the last couple of weeks, just be very careful being in calls. We are one headline away from catastrophe. that the market could end up having a huge dump. We get all kinds of headaches going on in the world between China and Russia, and sending more weapons and aid and all kinds of stuff going on. So one wrong move, one wrong thing, the market could be down 10, 20 points in a flash. So just be very, very, very careful this week. And that's going to do it for the watch list. Hope to see you in the room.